If you want to know how healthy someone will be in their 70s and 80s, forget about their cholesterol or what the scale says. Instead, focus on their stem cell activity. Many people assume stem cells are expensive, exotic treatments available only at high-end clinics. But after nearly 15 years in emergency medicine and preventive health, I've witnessed something extraordinary. Your body already contains around 70 million stem cells ready to be activated, and certain everyday foods can double their numbers in your bloodstream in as little as 30 days. Hi, I'm Dr. Becker, an emergency medicine physician. Over the years, watching patients decline unnecessarily taught me a hard truth. We've been told that aging equals inevitable decline, and that chronic disease is just part of getting older. Research, however, tells a very different story. In this video, I'll show you how to naturally stimulate your body's stem cell production using foods you can find at any grocery store. We'll dive into the exact science behind stem cell regeneration, how it works, and most importantly, the step-by-step protocol you can start today, one that begins showing results in just a single day. Before we dive in, a quick favor. I notice many people watch my videos but aren't subscribed. Could you check right now? It's free, takes 2 seconds, and helps this channel reach more people looking for science-based health insights. Now let's start with the basics. What are stem cells and why are they so essential for healthy aging? Think of stem cells as a construction crew living inside your body. When you're young, this crew is large, active, and constantly fixing damage. A stiff blood vessel? They repair it. Worn cartilage? They reinforce it. But as we age, this crew doesn't disappear, they just slow down. All 70 million are still there, but many enter a dormant state, sitting idle rather than actively repairing. Here's the breakthrough. Certain foods act like an alarm, calling these workers back into action. Research from multiple universities has confirmed something remarkable. In studies, 60-year-old patients with cardiovascular disease, people with stiff arteries and hardened blood vessels, who consumed 2 cups of high-percentage dark chocolate daily for 30 days, nearly doubled the number of circulating stem cells. This wasn't based on subjective feeling. Researchers measured actual stem cell counts in the bloodstream using flow cytometry. Even more impressive, these activated stem cells didn't just float around. They homed in on damaged blood vessels and reversed arterial stiffness. Using a test called flow-mediated dilation, which measures how well blood vessels expand and contract, these 60-year-olds showed vascular function comparable to people decades younger. The science behind this isn't magic. It comes down to compounds called polyphenols, specifically a subgroup called proanthocyanidins. Eating dark chocolate with 70% cacao or higher delivers a concentrated dose of these plant-based compounds. Your body breaks them down, they enter the bloodstream and send chemical signals to your bone marrow, the home of your stem cells. It's like texting your internal repair crew. There's work to do. Stem cells respond by mobilizing into circulation. Once active, they go exactly where they're needed. Inflammation in the knee? Stem cells migrate there. Tiny damage in the heart? They find it. This is healing from the inside out, happening every single day. Consider this. Your body is constantly experiencing microscopic damage. Every movement, meal, and breath contributes. Normally, stem cells repair this damage, but if they're inactive, problems accumulate. It's like a roof with tiny leaks. One leak is manageable, but 100 over 10 years causes serious structural damage. The incredible thing is that foods activating stem cells don't work through a single mechanism. They engage multiple pathways. Understanding these pathways is crucial for maximizing your body's regenerative potential. The first involves direct stem cell mobilization. Proanthocyanidins from dark chocolate interact with receptors on stem cells in the bone marrow, triggering them to enter the bloodstream and start repairing. It works much like a fire alarm triggers firefighters to spring into action. The chemical signals from certain foods essentially tell dormant stem cells, "Wake up, it's time to get to work." The second pathway is just as critical. These same polyphenols help reduce inflammation throughout your body. Many people assume all inflammation is bad, but that's not true. Inflammation is actually beneficial when it occurs in small bursts for a short time. Imagine you fall off your bike and scrape your knee. The swelling around the injury? That's inflammation doing its job, cleaning up damaged tissue like hotel housekeeping tidying a room. And just like housekeeping, it leaves when the job is done. Chronic inflammation, however, is the real problem. That's when inflammatory cells linger long after they're needed, causing damage instead of promoting healing. For instance, exercise creates tiny micro-injuries in your muscles. This is normal and necessary for growth, but if inflammation remains elevated, recovery is impaired. Polyphenols in foods like dark chocolate, blueberries, and pomegranates act like a dimmer switch, keeping inflammation at an optimal level enough to heal, but not so much that it becomes destructive. The third pathway involves angiogenesis, your body's ability to grow new blood vessels. Researchers at Harvard Medical School studied this and found that certain foods trigger the production of a protein called VEGF, vascular endothelial growth factor. VEGF signals your body to create new capillaries, the tiny vessels that deliver oxygen and nutrients to every cell. As we age, our capillary networks shrink, reducing oxygen delivery to the brain, muscles, and organs. But here's the remarkable part: polyphenol-rich foods can actually reverse this decline. In animal studies, researchers measured capillary density in aging subjects, then introduced concentrated berry extracts. Within weeks, new blood vessel formation increased by up to 40%, restoring oxygen supply to tissue that had been starved. I'll admit, I used to be skeptical of nutritional interventions. As an emergency medicine physician, I wanted hard, measurable outcomes. Yet the research is compelling. At the University of California, scientists studied adults over 60 with metabolic syndrome. Half received a placebo, while the other half took a concentrated polyphenol supplement, roughly equivalent to 2 cups of mixed berries daily. After 12 weeks, the berry group showed measurable improvements in insulin sensitivity, arterial flexibility, and markers of cellular aging, including telomere length. These were not just subjective feelings, they were concrete biological changes. Here's how it works in practice. You eat a cup of blueberries, packed with anthocyanins, the polyphenols that give them their deep blue color. Your stomach begins digestion, but the anthocyanins remain largely intact thanks to the fruit's fiber. They reach your small intestine, where they're absorbed into the bloodstream. Even more fascinating, your gut bacteria feed on these compounds, producing short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. Butyrate is vital. It fuels the cells lining your intestines and serves as a potent anti-inflammatory agent. Stanford studies show it can reduce inflammatory markers by up to 60% in people with chronic low-level inflammation. This creates a double benefit. The anthocyanins directly activate stem cells and reduce inflammation, while your gut bacteria produce additional anti-inflammatory compounds. This explains why gut health and immune health are so closely linked. Roughly 70% of your immune system resides in your gut lining. Think of it like a garden hose. The thick wall is where immune cells live, while the center houses gut bacteria. They communicate constantly, like roommates shouting across dorm walls. When gut bacteria are healthy and diverse, they send positive signals to the immune system, keeping inflammation low, stem cells active, and your body capable of repairing and regenerating itself. Now, many people think eating healthy means overhauling their diet entirely, giving up favorite foods and spending hours on meal prep. That's unrealistic, especially for people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s with established routines. The truth is far simpler. Small, consistent additions make a huge difference. For example, a study from the National Institute on Aging tracked 2,000 adults over 70 for 5 years. Researchers divided participants based on their polyphenol intake from foods. Those in the highest intake group, consuming the equivalent of 2 servings of berries, 1 serving of dark chocolate, and regular tea or coffee, experienced 35% slower cognitive decline compared to the lowest intake group. Their physical performance, including walking speed and grip strength, also remained significantly higher. What this tells you is simple: you don't need to become a health fanatic. You just need to strategically include specific foods that activate multiple beneficial pathways at once. Imagine if there were a medication that could double your stem cells, reduce inflammation, improve blood vessel function, and protect your brain, all with minimal side effects. You'd probably want it. That medication exists. It's just not in a pill bottle. You'll find it in the produce section of your grocery store. So what should you do? Here's the protocol I recommend, based on research and my clinical experience. 1. Eat 1 cup of mixed berries daily. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. All contain potent anthocyanins. Mixing them ensures a wider range of beneficial compounds. Fresh berries are ideal, but frozen works just as well. Sometimes even better since they're frozen at peak ripeness. Eat them with breakfast, blend into smoothies, or enjoy as a snack. The key is consistency. 1 cup every day. 2. Add 2 small squares of dark chocolate daily. Choose chocolate that's at least 70% cacao. 80–85% is even better. Higher cacao means more polyphenols and less sugar. Some go up to 100%, which is essentially unsweetened baking chocolate. bitter but highly beneficial. 2 squares around 30 g after lunch or as an afternoon snack is enough to mobilize stem cells without adding too many calories. 3. Drink at least 2 cups of tea daily. Green, black, oolong, or white. All are rich in polyphenols called catechins. Studies show that daily tea consumption lowers the risk of heart disease and stroke, with benefits increasing up to about 3 cups per day. Important tip: avoid dairy milk in tea. Dairy fat binds polyphenols, reducing absorption to only about 20%. If needed, use almond, soy, or other plant-based milks. Same applies to coffee. Black coffee is best. 4. Eat 1 or 2 kiwis daily. Kiwis are packed with vitamin C for collagen production, immune function, and reducing inflammation, and they're rich in dietary fiber that feeds your gut bacteria. Studies show 2 kiwis a day can shift gut microbiome composition toward healthier strains in just 24 hours. Kiwis are also tart and refreshing, avoiding blood sugar spikes from sweeter tropical fruits. 5. Incorporate mushrooms at least 4 times per week. Any variety works: white button, cremini, shiitake, oyster, portobello. Mushrooms contain a unique fiber called beta-glucan, which feeds gut bacteria, supports the immune system, promotes new blood vessel growth, and even activates stem cells. They're also the richest dietary source of ergothioneine, a powerful antioxidant that accumulates in stressed tissues. Cooking mushrooms softens their texture but preserves the beta-glucans, making them highly bioavailable. Sauté with olive oil and garlic, add to omelets, salads, or soups. The options are endless. 6. Eat 1 avocado daily, or at least 5 per week. Avocados provide fiber, healthy fats, and potassium. 1 medium avocado has roughly 10 g of fiber, both soluble and insoluble, supporting gut bacteria and healthy digestion. Their monounsaturated fats, similar to olive oil, reduce inflammation and protect cardiovascular health. Enjoy on toast, in salads, guacamole, or straight from the skin. 7. Include pomegranates in your routine. Eat the seeds, drink pure juice, or take a supplement. Pomegranates contain punicalagin, a potent antioxidant. Gut bacteria metabolize it into urolithin A, which supports mitochondrial function and longevity. Fresh pomegranates are seasonal and sometimes tedious to eat, so pure juice without added sugar or a standardized supplement works well. Here are some pro tips from 15 years of clinical practice. Timing matters. Your body's repair systems are most active during sleep. Eat your dark chocolate and have your last cup of tea in the afternoon around 3-4 p.m. This gives your body time to process and utilize polyphenols overnight. Avoid heavy meals within 3 hours of bedtime, as digestion diverts energy away from cellular repair. A light snack, like a handful of nuts or a piece of fruit, is fine if you're hungry. Hydration is critical. Cellular repair processes require water. You don't need 10 glasses a day, but ensure you're not thirsty. Pale yellow urine is a good indicator. Dark means dehydrated. Clear means overhydrated. Also avoid plastic bottles. Microplastics are now being detected in human tissue, including the brain. Opt for glass, stainless steel, or filtered tap water. Plastic bottles are a major source of exposure, and it's one of the things most people overlook. The biggest mistake I see is inconsistency. People eat berries and dark chocolate for a few days, feel great, and then stop for weeks. Remember, stem cell activation and anti-inflammatory effects are cumulative. This isn't a medication that gives instant relief. You're gradually shifting your body's baseline function over time. With consistent intake, measurable changes in stem cell counts and inflammation markers appear in about 30 days. After 90 days, the benefits are even more pronounced. Patients who stick to this protocol report increased energy, clearer thinking, reduced joint pain, and faster exercise recovery. Some even see improvements in chronic conditions they'd long accepted as permanent. Early-stage metabolic syndrome reversed, blood pressure improved enough to reduce medications, and mobility regained that they thought was lost forever. Aging does not mean inevitable decline. The people I see thriving in their 70s and 80s aren't genetically exceptional or simply lucky. They consistently take small, effective steps to activate their body's natural repair systems. You can start doing the same today. Here's a recap of what we covered. Your body has around 70 million stem cells that can be awakened through specific foods. Dark chocolate with high cacao content, berries rich in anthocyanins, tea loaded with catechins, kiwis packed with vitamin C and fiber, mushrooms full of beta-glucans, avocados providing healthy fats and fiber, pomegranates containing potent antioxidants. These foods work through multiple pathways. They mobilize stem cells from bone marrow, reduce chronic inflammation, stimulate new blood vessel growth, feed beneficial gut bacteria, and support immune function. The daily protocol is simple: 1 cup of mixed berries, 2 squares of dark chocolate at 70% cacao or higher, 2 cups of tea without dairy, 1 to 2 kiwis, mushrooms 4 times per week. 1 avocado most days, pomegranate when available. Start small, just 1 or 2 of these foods, and build from there. Consistency matters more than perfection. The research is clear: cardiovascular disease can be reversed, some forms of cognitive decline can improve, and stem cell activity can double in just 30 days. Your health is not set by your genes or age, it's shaped by what you choose to eat and how you live. You have far more control than you may realize. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and give it a like. It helps me reach more people like you who want real science-based strategies for healthy aging. I'll see you in the next video.